Cloning is the process of creating an organism that is an exact genetic copy of another. The process of cloning starts with a somatic cell nuclear transfer, that is, removing the DNA from the nucleus of an unfertilized egg cell and replacing it with the DNA and material of a somatic cell of the human to be cloned.
So just how important is cloning technology? And should we be worried about evil clone armies in the future?
Cloning has played a role far larger than I think it's likely to play in the future of science and medicine. The money, the ability to do something useful with cloning is probably over on the research side of cloning, not on the reproductive.
That means cloning to create stem cells that can grow into replacement organs.
Any effort to try to make a baby by cloning, given the very, very high probability that the baby's going to be seriously abnormal, is just completely morally unjustifiable.
From an ethicist point of view, there is a great opposition to such an offensive technology. Cloning may allow the persistence of certain genotypes and derived phenotypic traits, but it does not provide individual immortality or replication. In other words, it does not produce an exact replica of the cloned person. Human cloning is something dangerous and wrong that is so extraordinary that it could alter the evolution of our species. Dr. Panos Davos has been attempting to clone a human being on 14 separate embryos. None, however, have produced the desired effect.
For genetic researchers, human cloning is completely taboo. On that, the Pope and the President agree.
We're not going to be judged by the politicians and the clergymen, but rather by the fertility or infertility patients, rather, that need to have a child, a biological child of their own.
But that could be a long ways off. It took 276 failed attempts to implant a cloned sheep embryo to end up with Dolly. And so far, Dr. Zavos says all of his cloned human embryos have miscarried, but he'll keep trying.
Cloning could also have other risks, such as psychological, social, and family problems, identity problems, and also since cloning is an asexual reproduction, it means that the cloned child will be deprived of having two parents.
The reaction against the prospect of cloning humans has been worldwide. In his Sunday address, the Pope implied such experiments were dangerous. Today, Italy banned cloning experiments. So did Argentina. And the German government said there should be a worldwide ban on cloning.
I absolutely see a day where you'll walk into a manufacturing facility somewhere and there will be jars of kidneys and jars of livers and jars of lungs, whatever it is you need.
Just as in the island, your body would accept the new organ because it would be yours, grown from your cells.
And there would be no more waiting lists for organs. There would be no more rejection. We would enter a new era where we could build the you an identical, ideal replacement.
Using the somatic cell nuclear transfer technology, we've been able to reprogram, convert it to become again early embryonic cells. So the significance of this study is that we can now derive embryonic cells from patients. That means these embryonic cells are capable to become again any cell of the body, for example, become neurons or heart cells. And so we could use these cells to treat this patient. The embryonic stem cells, of course, have been derived about a decade ago. However, those cells were derived from unrelated embryos. In this case, we showed that we could derive cells which are specific to every patient.
But many scientists are not impressed.
Unethical. What you are doing is incredibly disreputable. What you are doing is utterly appalling. Do you know, I don't mind if you clone a human being, actually, because I think you would get the full force of the law when inevitably you produce an abnormal child and the parent or the child will sue you through the court, and God help you when that happens and you deserve the full force of the law, whether it be in the United States or in Italy.
There is much about cloning that we still do not know, but this much we do know. Any discovery that touches upon human creation is not simply a matter of scientific inquiry. It is a matter of morality and spirituality as well. I believe we must respect this profound gift and resist the temptation to replicate ourselves.